sense. But, yeah, always well. Mm-hmm. Alright, so you finished with it? You still setting it up?
No, it's not.
Mm. Maybe you should text him, say, tell me that you ready. Or what's up with something. My phone acting stupid again. Let me get this shit.
You got your candidates for surprises and not surprises, or
Yep.
surprises both sides. Who it is, so they don't overlap.
Well, surprise. Well, I guess maybe straight coach. Straight coach is doing terrible. And then, can they everybody hear us now?
There's nobody on the screen.
Alright. Yeah, straight coach maybe in.
Who's doing good?
Nah. Well, not surprised. Obviously, it's Stokes. I mean, nah, dude,
Shayna?
I don't need nothing. I'm about to do a radio show, so tell
I think
me
we
don't
just do.
nobody come downstairs.
I think the easy one will be Shayna and stuff. I mean, and Made to Shine. They both
Yep.
doing a little better than I thought.
Yeah, the people who doing better. Yeah. Yep. For good surprises, yes. For surprises doing bad.
I got Cole at 3 and 4.
Cole, yep, that's a good one. I think straight coach better than 2 and 6. That's abysmal. That's it.
All right. Welcome. This is K.O.M Radio Show number 2. It's your boy CP. As always, Miraculous, the new owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, is here. Um, we sorry for this delay in the radio show and everything. We just been hectic with our work lives and stuff. You know how it be. We gonna try to get these radio shows out to y'all a little bit more often in a little bit more timely fashion. Um, but moving on to the show, first thing we gonna go over is the standings, basically. Look and see how's everyone doing. So starting off, Stokes, he's 8-0. He's doing very well. I mean, it's Stokes. Everybody knows it's Stokes. I mean, you're not surprised, right? Right?
Pretty much. I mean, it's no surprise there. I mean,
Stokes 8-0.
Stokes is Stokes, man. He doing his usual running the ball, and I can't knock his hustle, bro. He holding it down.
And then you got followed by Shano and Made to Shine is at 8-0. Shano at 7-1. You got myself at 6-2. The
Mm,
Chargers at 6-2. Brat
that's
at
me.
6-2.
Raiders is tall midget.
Yeah, Raiders tall midget. Guys bundled up in the 4 or 5 wins. A bunch of guys. But there's a lot of divisions still open. Um, a lot of
Yes, it
divisions.
is.
If you go division by division, you look. The AFC North is a one-game lead. The AFC South, Stokes pretty much has clinched that already through 8 games.
Right.
He's up 5, but most of the divisions and Made to Shine as well got the AFC East. AFC heavyweights, in case y'all didn't know.
Yes, they are. What's curious to me is AFC North and AFC West. Um, it's it's pretty tight. I mean, the guys is banging like Steelers
Yeah.
4-4, 4-4, 5-2, 6-2 in the AFC North, and then in the AFC West, the top three guys is banging the least. Me and Midget both 6-2. I got a head-to-head win over him, but then K. Bola, who started off 1-3, is on a roll, and it looked like he didn't find his stride, and he making some noise. He
Yeah.
trying to make sure he trying to prove he legit. So
Hey
it's
man,
interesting.
it's real interesting. Like you say, two teams fighting for the division at 6-2, and then K.O.M right there in the mix at 4-3. The NFC, I mean, we got some some good guys. They're not as top heavy, I guess, but you still got
Hmm.
teams who's jumbled around 4 and 5 wins in every division, basically. I mean, you got Shano who's 7-1, who's basically dominating the NFC right now. But outside of him, everybody's jumbled around 4 or 5
I
wins.
agree. I
It's
agree.
every division is still open. And even Shano at 7-1, his division is still wide open. Because you got Justin, the Tex boy, right here at 5-2, who could potentially
Hmm.
still come back and win the division, only down a game and a half. So
I agree. NFC North is real tight. Retro, and I remember when Retro was drafted. Retro had a real young team, um, but he managed to still do well. He got a 1 game lead over, or half game over G-Man and AIM. And, AIM seemed like he's starting to find his stride. He had a couple tough games, but I think AIM is gonna do well down the stretch. But Retro been doing solid. So I'm impressed with Retro, what he did with the team he got. And then I'm curious to see if Justin gonna come back. Justin started off on fire. He came right out the gate 5-0. His point differential, I remember it was a couple weeks back. I mean, it was the highest in the league a couple weeks ago. And then he ran into a bad game against somebody from Cleveland, and it just was all bad after that. So
well, his point
yeah,
differential is still impressive. Not as impressive as it once was. But
right.
he's still over with 111 points up,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Yep,
great. I mean,
it's real good.
Shayna was about what's that, about 132 or something, 138. I mean, 138, something like that. So he's doing good as well. In the point differential, you got some guys who
Yep.
really got to step it up in the NFC. Jedi at 0-7. You got
Mm-hmm.
you have a negative 200 and almost 30 point differential. Yeah, you got to step that up, Jedi. Come on, Jedi. You got the most downloaded playbook in Madden,
Right.
in the history of Madden, Jedi. You got to step that up.
Come on.
Maybe you need a new
Exactly.
playbook because it ain't working, obviously. I mean, it got a lot of downloads, but it ain't working.
It ain't working for you.
Maybe it's working for everybody else. Maybe you should try to download somebody else's playbook, Jedi.
Yeah, no doubt.
Um, we have a couple new guys in K.O.M. Couple guys had to leave for various different reasons. Um,
Yep.
so the new guys in the league, we're welcoming y'all. Hopefully, guys get to see the radio show, and maybe even call in if you have a chance. When you get a chance, I believe it's the Vikings. The Vikings has been filled by Cobra Quickness. Um, he's a new owner for everybody who's not familiar with him. Cobra Quickness been around for a little while now. No, Cobra Quickness is
Not
who's
Cobra been here
no, he's
for a
been here.
minute,
He's been here. I'm
and
sorry,
I think he's still
Cobra.
here
He's still
technically.
here, but he's
Now Saints,
potentially the Saints and the Panthers
Saints
are the
guy,
new owners.
and
No
the
con.
Saints guy have played. Just to chime in for a minute, CP. The Saints guy have played, I think, a couple games since taking over for Beast Mode, and he have won a couple games. So
Okay,
no comp. Yep, and I think he won a couple games he didn't play. So
that's
I think he's somebody to look out for.
okay. Well, shout outs to No Comp and Crawdad with the Panthers. Shout outs to both of you guys for filling in, taking teams that you guys didn't draft, and making the most of a great league that we're all in. So big shout outs
Yep.
to you guys for joining the league.
Big shout out.
Big shout out.
Absolutely.
So we're like the halfway point of K.O.M right now. We're in week 9.
Hmm.
Is there any surprises for you, Rack? Like guys who may be doing a little bit better than you expected, or a little worse?
Yes. We'll start with who doing a little better than I expected. I will start with Shano. Shano. Shano has been, a good player above. He been solid, good. You know what I'm saying? He normally used to be ranked kind of middle-ish of the pack, but he make the playoffs some years, 10 to 6, 11. He always flashed that potential, especially offensively. He always will flash it. You know what I'm saying? It was just him finding consistency. And this year he just really came out the gate swinging. He got the highest points scored in the league. I mean,
Hmm.
he is really doing his thing offensively, passing well. He had the most TDs. I looked. His quarterback Garoppolo had the most TDs. Running the ball well. His running back Lamar Miller got the most yards. He just bringing it together all the way on offense. And what really stood out to me, he impressed me so much. We played a game a couple of weeks back, and he impressed. I told him, I texted him, I said, "Hey, bro, your offense is, it's kind of elite. It's hard. It was pretty good. So I see he didn't carry that all season long. He been consistent with that this season. It looked like he didn't find his consistency. So I've been real impressed with Shane. I have.
Yeah, well, I
I
mean,
gotta give it.
Shano always been a great player. Offensively, I think his downside was he was throwing a little bit more interceptions than he would like
Mm-hmm.
historically. But now that I think that he's cutting back some interceptions, I mean, you see the product of what not turning the ball over does. So big shouts
Absolutely.
to Shano.
Big
Anybody
shouts.
on the opposite end of the spectrum that you thought to see with a better record than what it is?
Let's go down to the bottom here. For me, the guy who I feel like is better than a record is Straight Coach. And Straight Coach is sitting at 2-6. Straight Coach is better than 2-6. He definitely is. He always been, a guy who's been good. He always played what people consider the top guys very well. He always had our respect. A guy who can make the playoffs, a guy you got to respect and play, or he will beat you. And for him to be 2-6 is surprising, but at the same time, thinking about the first radio show we had, it ain't, it shouldn't be too surprising to me because not knowing who was who at the time. I remember we went through these teams, and I told you I didn't think the Bills had enough. I think their strategy was to go too young everywhere, and that I think they sacrificed youth in a couple of places where they could have got some experienced guys.
Hmm.
And it looked like I hit that right on the head because it looked like he's struggling a little bit.
Well, you definitely. I remember the same conversation, and we was definitely like you said. You want to go young, but you can't overdo it with going young.
Hmm.
Especially when there's good guys that who's 90 overall that's available, but you just gotta have this rookie who's a 77 overall. I mean, you gotta. You don't need a team for the rookies. You want some guys who ready right now. So
Hmm.
I definitely can see where you're going with that. As far as I go,
What?
the person who I'm, I guess, most surprised with, not really surprised, but made the shine is 8-0, and made the shine by any means.
Hmm.
He's not a bad player by any means. But
Hmm.
if you told me made the shine halfway through the season would have the best record in the league, with tied with Stokes, I'd probably be like, nah. I probably wouldn't
Right.
believe that. So him
Hmm.
sitting at 8-0, undefeated, perfect record right now. I mean, you gotta salute that. His seems as though he's having somewhat close of games because his point differential for somebody who's undefeated isn't as high as I would have thought. It's about 80 or
Yep.
90. So
Right.
that's I would expect it to be a little higher. So I guess his games are somewhat close, but he's pulling them out. So
Hmm.
that's all that matters.
He
It don't matter
he
how you win, but
he
if you
finding
win.
he finding ways to win. And
Yeah,
you know what? Me and him play. I played him the last game. Um, and it's a game. I mean, I don't got no excuse. I feel like I should have won. He probably tell you I had like double his yards, but he got critical turnovers when it mattered, and that's the game. Sometimes finding a way to win, it ain't about winning in a spectacular fashion. People used to always say about Stokes all the time. And it ain't pretty necessarily all the time, but it's a win, and that's what we play for. So I gotta give it to him. I gotta give it to him.
as long as you're winning, I mean, nothing else really
Yeah,
matters, right?
that's
No matter
true.
how you get it, as long as you get it, as long as it's within the rules
Absolutely.
and you're doing everything correctly, just make it happen. And if you win by an inch or a mile,
Yeah,
right?
it's yeah, that's right. I'm
um,
with you, bro.
so
What
and
about
then
on the other side?
on the opposite side, the person who he's not necessarily doing terrible, but BJ at 3-4, I would expect him to be a little bit better than that. I would BJ I would expect to see him at about 6 wins right now. 6-2,
Mm-hmm.
5-3, something like that. But to be under 500 at the halfway point, even though he hasn't played this game this week, so technically he can get to 500. But I wouldn't expect that from BJ. His point differential is 27. It's not good in the positive. It's not good at all there. I just would expect to see more from BJ in that sense.
Yeah, me too. I mean, and especially with BJ drafting his team, and he normally good. He know exactly the type of guys he want. It is funny to see him here at 3-4. And it's funny. You know who he played this week? He played you.
Yes, yes. So he
so
won't be getting the 500. So he'll be 3-5. So sorry, BJ. 2 games under
so
500 for you at the halfway mark.
right.
um, all you gotta do is just don't get beat deep, right? No,
that,
BJ loves
that,
some speed, guys.
yes, he do.
Um, so if, by the way, if anybody want to get, whether you like, you could text Watts, you could text me, you could text Rec. Anybody want to get on a radio show, discuss anything about the league, how things are playing,
Hmm.
feel free to message in any type of way. The group chat, text message, on the stream, we'll get it. We'll get you guys in. Whatever you guys want to say, and we'll bring you in. The next thing I
I just
kind of I don't want to dwell on this too long,
okay.
but it's an ongoing debate between multiple
Hmm.
leagues, and like I see it on Facebook, I see it on different sites, I see this all Madden all pro thing.
Hmm.
So I've always been a guy who the developers say play the game all pro, they play true to their ratings. I don't see how you can argue that. What do you feel right
I,
about?
uh, I mean, listen. I know we didn't have these discussions on the board. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't talked about it. Obviously, I'm an all pro guy. When I was young, I think when we was all young and we was first doing, that's all we knew. Everybody played all Madden. Like we was all playing all Madden. That's what we thought it was. As you grew and as we start learning what the game was meant for, you kind of learn. Oh, all pro is what it's designed for. Okay, it don't help you as much. The guys play more true to your weighting sword. That's always been my opinion, and that's always to me it really shows. It makes you work harder. Your game plan. It do not. I like to say this. This is the reality. It doesn't. It doesn't bail you. You can't be. It really forces you to learn play calling at a higher level because if you call a bad play, um, you're gonna pay for it. I mean, that's how it should be. It's like that in real life. I mean, if you call a bad play, you're gonna pay for it. So And the guys, like a lot of guys, ain't comfortable with it because they ain't been playing it. Some guys, and I heard people say it all the time. Well, I've been doing this. We talk about this at the job. I've been doing this for 10 years or this much time, so this is just how I'm gonna do it. That's fine. Everybody, you know, no matter what in life, we all got preferences, gameplay preferences. So, my whole philosophy has changed, and I'm not trying to sway nobody which way or the other. If you feel like, oh man, it's right for you, play for you. Developers already came out with the information. Once people got the information, they able to make an informed decision. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm at. Like, you can make an informed decision now. If you still feel like you want to play on this or that, then that's your right, and I ain't mad at you, bro. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying? And if,
definitely. I mean, me personally, I probably will never play in the All Man League. I just don't like that
hmm
idea of guys playing above their ratings. You got 60, 70 overall guys because they fast. They just play like Deion Sanders in their prime, or on the other side of the ball, they Randy Moss or something. But
right.
so I personally don't would never do that, and I don't want to say never play in the All Man League, but more than likely I can't see it happening. But
hmm
I mean, some people like the extra challenge, and I mean, I can see why. No, not really. I can't see why anybody would do it. But I mean, I guess in theory,
Well,
the extra challenge, it just making
yeah,
it tougher. I guess in theory, that makes
it
sense.
will, and yeah, it do, and all y'all playing on the same playing field, so it do. I mean, it is tougher. It's gonna be tougher for everybody. Um, but like I used to say to people, what it's called, it. Well, I don't know. I was saying it will bail people out who shouldn't be bailed out at times, but at the same time, when you got a good player, they really gonna be able to take advantage of it because they're gonna be playing like, I mean, the computer gonna be playing out their mind, and then the guy still great at using it. So it's when you talking about struggling in the past, you really should struggle to pass. Like
Yeah, I think it. I
it,
think it benefits not certain people as far as like their
mm-hmm.
talent level. I think it benefits certain play styles.
True,
If
that's
you
true
if you
too.
if you're a heavy passer, especially vertical passer, you're probably not going to
Oh yeah,
have the same sort of success on Madden, all Madden, as on All Pro. But if you're like a runner type guy, heavy runner, you try to get 25, 30 attempts every game. All Madden, you'll love it because you're getting the turnovers on defense. You're running the ball
mm-hmm.
heavy. It's just not. It's not going to affect your game nearly as much as the people that's a heavy passer. So that's just my opinion on
I,
it.
yeah, I agree. And we can, I'm with you, and and like I said, and like you said, I don't want to spend too much time with it because I know people feel, you know, different ways about it, and I ain't mad either way. You know what I'm saying? I know we done talked about the death on the forums, and I ain't trying to sway nobody one way or the other. This leagues for everything. I think even G-Man commented on that, like, hey, bro, if you want to play on it, this what we gonna play. I'm with him. Like, just choose what league best for you, and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
definitely. I mean, because All Pro is
yeah,
definitely not perfect by any means. It definitely has
nope.
some
There's issues
downsides,
too.
issues too. Um,
hmm
so it's no perfect. I guess league.
Nope.
Maybe if somebody tweaked the settings perfectly I don't know, but
There's some
somebody out there might have
sliders.
did yeah, tweaked the sliders
Right.
some type of way. Um, I could maybe I guess maybe could get something, but outside of that, it's not gonna be perfect.
Nope.
Watch, we're not doing all Madden next year, bro. It'll be the last year of a K.O.M. If that's the case. Just kidding, but
Yes,
if
indeed.
again, I'm gonna try to bring Jedi in. I think he trying to get into
Okay.
we can talk to Jedi Capricorn, bring him in for a little while. Get him in, see what he got to say, how he's doing in the league and stuff. See if he's on what he can do moving forward to maybe get some wins. Jedi, you can't play 16 games and keep going 0 and 16. Jedi, we need you to do a little better than that, buddy. Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
it, so how are you feeling though, Rack? As far as your comfortability with learning a new game, are you where you want to be, close to where you trying to be? Um,
honestly, I feel good. Um, I don't put nearly the time in the man like I used to play. I just think everybody and it's just not the same no more. I got so much stuff going on, and then I like play other stuff, play the basketball a little bit. So the two league thing is good for me. Two is like my perfect number, I'm pretty much at the point where I kind of play my franchise games, and that's it. And I learn as I go with my franchise, and I pretty much didn't find my offense. Right now, it's just about when I lose or have a bad game, it normally never be about yards or the opponent. It be about turnovers, doing a
Okay.
dumb pass in a dumb window, forcing something. It's all correctable. And I always said, as long as when I play and I lose and I see the problem and I know I can fix the problem, it's correctable. I'm good. Um, when I can't see the problem, when I can't stop the problem, yeah, you need to do some lab. You need to get in there and figure it out because. But I'm pretty good at figuring out. I mean, the same concepts. You just got to understand football. The strategy of football is based on real life. The same concepts work a lot of times to Madden to Madden. Um, cover three gonna have certain things it's strong against, it's weak against. Cover four, cover two. It's gonna be like that from Madden to Madden. Some Maddens they play certain zones a little bit better, but the basic principles of it, flooding zones, how to attack, it's the same. So it's easy transition for somebody like me a lot of times because the principles carry over. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
To from game to game. So yeah, I'm comfortable. I really am comfortable with myself. I feel like when I play bad, it's on me and just because I do stupid decisions. What about
I,
you?
I'm with you on. I'm totally feel like I'm in the same mode. Whereas though I'm playing Madden, I'm playing it, but I'm not nearly playing enough, putting the work in that I once had. There was a time that I used to make sure I had to play 6 games a day. Like that was my rule. You gotta play 6 games every day, and I stuck by that. But now I play about 1 game a day, in between the two leagues that I'm in, and I'm still solid. You know, I'm sitting at 6-2 in my other league. I'm doing well also. Um, I
Okay.
but I feel like now it's kind of like how you said. It's not that like I know the game so well, so that's why I'm doing good. I feel like it's just my knowledge of just football and just how the game works. Just your experience from years upon years of playing it is kind of carrying me a little bit.
Okay. Yep.
But all in all, I'm happy. I mean, we're pushing toward the playoffs, and we're going to see how things go. You know, hopefully it goes well.
Yep. And then them competitive juices gonna get flowing. You gonna lock in a little bit. Um, and I know that's how I am. Sometimes I can get. I just gotta. Sometimes you can't never learn. I say, man, that's what yeah, that's what you gotta do. And it's like sometimes you feel like you playing somebody you feel like you can beat. You find yourself half some of your plays and doing this, and next thing you know, you got a couple turnovers, and you're really trying to change it. Or then you really try to wake up, and then now I heard a fumble come, or something come, and then you just can't overcome it. Then you next thing you know, you didn't gave the game away. So that's just always been part of football, trying to be disciplined. I never have a problem getting up for big games. I
Yeah,
always do. Sometimes the little games, though, every once in a while, I got to be careful. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying to make
Those
sure
are
I don't
trap
play
games.
down.
Trap games.
Yep, absolutely.
The trap
So,
games. You gotta be careful. You know, you sleep on the opponent. And you're like, oh, that's such and such. It should be nothing. And then you barely not really picking your plays strategically and stuff. You just kind of out there going through the motions, and then they get a couple big plays, and then you playing from behind, and now you throwing an interception and making things worse, and you know, so
right, it's all bad. Absolutely.
so I definitely get here. Again, if anybody want to get on the show, just let me know. Let Rack know, Watts. the group chat, any of that, we can get you on. I thought we was getting Jedi in here. Apparently, he doesn't want to really get in right now. Um, Slick, I think I missed him as well. He was trying to get in, but he got
Trying to get
busy,
in.
and he can't
Yeah,
join.
come on in. Do a little. You can talk about the trash talk. Talk about how your season been going. Um, uh, you know, we do have since it's mid-season. We 8 games in. We're supposed to be doing. I'm going to drop a power rankings. Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop it tomorrow. Where you think who you think should be number one? Where do you think you should be at? You can talk about all these things. Feel free to chime in. I mean, we the activity, we need to pick it up. Us as commissioners, the people who in the forefront, we're gonna do a lot more posting. It's kind of been hectic for everybody, and we picking it back up. We just need everybody to play their part. You know what I'm saying? Um, um, you know, do your role. A lot of times we put posts out here, and you know, you want to participate. You want to take a couple minutes, and most of the time it's only a couple minutes. Whether it's season recaps, whatever you see going on in the league, you just try to participate. If you got ideas to yourself, come on with them. In the leagues I've been in the past, um, what made them great a lot of time, it's not just the commissioners doing work. It was everybody doing work. People putting up anything they want, putting up any post they want to talk about anything. Leagues go as the community go. You work good together. We work all together. It's gonna be as good as we make it to be. Um, we ain't going nowhere. We dedicated to you. I hope you seeing this through these radio shows and all the things we provide, and we just getting started for real. So I just want y'all to understand that we as a league, all the members in it is fully committed to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
We ask everybody that they be fully committed as well. You know what I'm saying? And it's going the league will grow and everything will grow, the community will grow as a whole over time. That's
yeah,
what we need.
definitely. Just being active, and even like when we say be active, right? We're not pressuring guys to post every day and post on every topic. We you don't have to do that. We don't have to be. We would like for you to post as much as possible, but as long as you're active in some sort of way, that's all that really matters. Playing your game, and whenever you're going through any type of ordeal, maybe you leaving the country for work, or as long as you just let everybody know what's going on in a timely fashion, we can work with you. We Watts has no issue with working with anybody. He got a really he has a really busy work schedule himself. He's always traveling. He's an advisor to the Donald Trump, so he's always traveling all over the country. So
Absolutely.
he understands when people got busy things to do. So just let people know what's going on, what's everybody
Hmm.
doing, and we can work with you. Everybody can work with you, and it'll go well. Just be active as much as you can. It's no pressure on anyone. It was somebody I can't think of exactly who it was who felt like, oh, I wasn't posting enough, and maybe I shouldn't be in the league because it's not like that. Just post as much as you can. Everybody's different. Everybody's schedule is different. So we definitely completely understand if you cannot post every day, every other day. We do just try to comment when you can on the various topics we have out there.
Yes, sir. I'm with you. I'm with you. I am with you.
Um, I'm gonna try to get somebody in here. Everybody being shy today. Um, we're gonna try see who we can get in here. See if we can get some trash talk, man. Everybody's so political nowadays. Everybody don't want to, go into this and don't want to go to that. Oh, I'm nice. Man, we gotta get some people talking, man. Let them, what I mean,
Hmm.
stop being shy, so politically correct all the time. There we go. We got
All right.
somebody. I know somebody who's not shy
There
of
we go.
talking
There
shit.
we go. Oh
We
man.
nobody. If one guy not talking is not shy about talking shit, is Shane. Come on, Shane. What's going on?
Oh, please talk it. Talk that shit, Shane. Talk that shit, son. Talk it.
Look, man, these two in Infinity Cardinals are about to put the herd down.
Mmm. Mmm. Is it?
I just played a great game with Swift.
Okay.
I mean, it was fantastic. Back and forth, back and forth. Neither one of us could stop each other. Got down. I got him to score. He stopped me. Drove down. Scored. I got the ball back. Drove down. Scored. Time running out. He gets a big defensive pass interference. The only one in the entire game, despite the fact that like 3 plays prior, he tackled my wide receiver.
Hey, Shane, do me a favor. Do one quick second. Can you? No one can hear you. Can you put your audio settings on available to share?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Hold on. Get that habit.
it's okay. We know you work for the Secret Service, so you can't be sharing everything. I understand.
Right. Right.
Don't want to give out them important banking secrets.
Yes.
Allow my voice to be shared.
Yes. Share for
My
the
voice
world.
should be shared with, the world.
I wouldn't go that far, but we can limit it to this radio show. We can at least have that.
Good job, guys. By the way, I love the show. Love the format. Love what you guys are doing. I appreciate you guys putting the time in, especially when you're talking about, activity and such. Like I mentioned in another league, commitment that you guys show to your league is phenomenal. So hopefully we can get some more activity and the more people, because commissioning is a thankless job. People are usually they're there to play the games. They don't realize that the commissioners are around
Commissions
24/7
don't do
when you need
anything
them.
but advance the league, Shane. That's all y'all do, right?
Maybe if you came from another league.
Right.
That's all y'all do. Just press
But-
advance. That's all commissioners do. Apparently, that's what
No.
that's what people think. At least they have no idea.
Well, I mean, yeah, and you got to think about it. I mean, commissioners, they come on, they've got to think about what topics will make people talk. How do I got to put the time in to make my topics. I got to put the time in to make my polls. I got to put the time in to put up my power rankings.
Power rankings.
I got to put the time in. Someone texts a commissioner saying, "Hey, I can't reach somebody." It doesn't matter if you're out at dinner with your family, whatever. You got to get on, take time away, text somebody, chase them down, say, "Hey, why aren't you scheduling your games?" So commissioning is a lot of work. People just don't understand it.
Yeah.
So, and all we really look for is an occasional, "Hey, man, yeah, I love this topic. Let me talk about my game," or here's what I think. It doesn't take much.
So Shane,
They don't.
what do you feel as though is your problem right now in the K.O.M? You're 2-6. You're putting up a little bit of points. So what do you feel as though your issue? Why you're 2-6 and why you're not sitting at a record? I'm sure you would rather have 6-2, the opposite of 2-6. So what do you feel is your
Absolutely.
issue right now?
Well, I'm completely one-dimensional on my game. I've got no offensive. Well, it started off with draft position. I had this wonderful idea, like everybody else in the league apparently, that I was going to go wide receiver first and grab a couple good wide receivers early because they're so important in this year's Madden. But I had the 30th pick. So by the time they got to me, it was completely worn down. Everybody they've been picked over. So it was either do you go to the next level wide receivers or you go someplace else. So I went defense. I took Joey Bosa, and then I came back around to me real quick, and I thought, well, if I'm going to start off here, I might as well go here strong. So like my next ton of picks, with the exception of one, was defense.
Okay. So
And
you just feel like
then
you
I
just
ended up
need a
with
couple pieces on the offensive side to balance the defense.
absolutely. I feel like I'm under pressure way too much. My run game, I'm always getting hit in the backfield in the run game. So I'm just having trouble. Because once you become one-dimensional, everybody just sits back in a zone or something, and pass commits every play because they know you're going to throw the ball because you can't run the ball. So it's definitely been a struggle. I've played some good talents. I've played some good games that just straight out beat me. There's nothing I can say about that. Even if everything had gone right, I probably would have gotten blown out in those games. So I make no excuses.
Well,
Nice.
So I mean, I
I'm
know
drafting
you're not
all
gonna.
offense.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was about to say I don't want to give. I know you don't want to give too much of your draft strategy away. Anybody you targeting, but what
Wide
you looking
wide
for?
receivers, cornerbacks, and offensive line. That's my draft strategy.
That's it.
Unless somebody wants to trade them for me for my picks, so that's open.
So what's the
Wait, are we
quarterback
past the trade
range?
deadline?
Yes, we are past it, so
We just
it's
Crap.
not
passed it.
So
open.
off
We just
season.
passed.
So Drew Brees is my quarterback, who's an awesome QB,
Yeah.
except for the fact that Slick just knocked him out for 5 weeks in the game that we just played.
Mm, mm, mm,
So we're playing right now with Landry Jones.
Okay,
mm.
solid guy. I'm looking at some of your scores. Like you say, most of your games been really competitive. You lost the game to Shano, 9-13. Um, you lost to Death Wish by 3. I'm sure you got a call
Oh,
about that.
that was heartbreaking. That was
You
heartbreaking.
lost to Slick by 4
Losing
points.
to Death Wish any time is just
I'm sure. I'm sure.
I got to hear about it every day. Hey,
Right.
remember that time back in Tuesday, 2014? Yeah, dick.
I'm certain. So you got a lot of close games. I mean, you had a bad loss to Justin Texboy, and I mean, but other than that, even Stokes, you played somewhat competitively. It looks like unless you got some late scores. No, I mean,
No, no, and I think
it,
he scored a bunch late. I think we were close fairly for the first half.
yeah,
But that's
Yeah,
the way
it was
Stokes
close
is.
first half.
He runs the ball, and then he just runs the ball for 100 yards every play. 2 yard down. Stoke will be like 3rd and 90 and run a inside zone play and get it.
Yep.
I'm looking at these stats too.
So
You didn't get the 10 rushes. I,
I didn't get to
Say
what game.
say it ain't so.
in the Stokes game, you only had 8 actually.
I only had suspend me.
To you,
8 rushes, 13 yards. Lord.
this is why I don't feel like it's suspension worthy. This is definitely something to watch. I don't feel like it's suspension worthy because you only had 14 passing attempts. So 8 and 14, it's not that bad. It looked like Stokes just had the ball a lot because he had 20.
He did have the ball a lot.
He had 28 passing attempts.
Oh,
I mean,
23
rushing
minutes to 8 minutes. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
So that's why to me it's definitely nothing worthy.
Yeah,
I mean, he ran the ball 31 times and then he passed the ball 14. So he had 45 plays to your 22. So he doubled you up on plays ran. And you actually
Percentage wise, for the possession wise, I
Yeah.
did decent, but
yeah.
I'm still a guy that should have gotten 10 rushes. I make no
But
excuses.
you got the 10 rushes. You only had 12 passes in theory.
True.
So, I mean, it's not nothing.
Yeah, it's a
egregious.
different story.
Yeah, it's nothing there, egregious there. But moving along, like, how do you feel as though you're gonna finish the season out? What is you got some winnable games? I feel for you. You don't have a lot of tough guys.
So Haney, I just beat 20-3 in another league, and then Schneids I haven't played in a long time. But what I've heard, what I remember of Schneids back when he played in Death Wish, it was a decent game. I mean, it wasn't anything overwhelming. But what I've been seeing lately is people talking about how his game has taken a next step. So I don't know what to expect for that. I haven't played him in years.
He only had 2 wins on the season, so.
Okay, well,
So that's
interesting.
I feel as though you feel it. You should be. It's definitely a winnable game for you.
Okay, we'll call that one a winnable. Chi-Town, depending on which dollar bill shows up. If you run play action or something on when you got a lead at the end and trying to run out time, that's a problem.
Chi-Town is sitting on 1 win on the season right now.
So I think that one's a winnable game. Established fellow Miami fan. We played earlier in the season and I did pretty well, 43-28. So
Okay.
I feel like that's a winnable game. I feel like BJ Cole. I played him in my league, but he beat me in overtime after time expired, and I didn't even get a possession. But I had a much better team. He's got a better team than me, I think, this year. So I don't think I'll even be in that game. I think that'll be a tough win. I don't know anything about Shit Scoop this year.
Shit,
Well,
Squeak
we
always.
do
Jedi.
know about Jedi Capricorn.
Well, by
We
that
do
time,
know about that.
about
Mm.
Jedi, he's gonna be what,
0-15.
16-0 or
Oh,
something at that going into that game. So
no.
he's gonna rest his starters,
Okay, yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, yeah.
and then Haney will
Mm.
be another good game. I think the Haney game at the end of the season will be decided by the first game. I think we could easily split these, or he
Mm-hmm.
could beat me both games. I just don't know how that's gonna go.
Yes.
Honestly, I mean, subjectively speaking, outside of the BJ game, I could definitely see you winning all of these games potentially. The BJ
Well,
game, I
it's
feel
gonna
as
be.
though would be your toughest game for certain, but
I
all the
think
rest
I
of the
think
games,
Haney gonna be a tough. Man, Haney good. He good when he want to
Haney
be.
solid,
Like
Haney
he
solid,
good.
Haney
Yeah,
He
solid.
the
good.
hard part is going to be doing it without Drew Brees. That's going to be my
Well,
major
you'll
issue. I've
have
got to
him.
do it with.
How long is you
He's
say
out
he's
for
out?
5 weeks.
Oh, he'll be back for
Mm-hmm.
the Haney game, but the rest of the games, yeah, it'll be rough. Gotta stay out that precision
No, he
passing.
ain't gonna be back for that first Haney game. It's week 10.
I thought he
It's
already
next
played
week.
Haney. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He play him twice.
Okay.
And Haney playing good, but his only two losses is a 6 point loss to Stokes and a 10 point loss to Aim. He
Okay, well,
beat BJ Cole. He beat everybody else. He playing good.
he
So
seemed to be playing really good. You're right.
mm,
Um,
yeah.
he got a lot of close
Who's?
wins, but he's winning.
Yeah, I feel like I should do better than I'm doing right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. You can get up to 3
I
wins.
should end up. Yeah, I could get 3 wins,
3-13.
maybe 4 if I'm lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Who's in the league that's not doing as well as they should? That is the real question.
You
And we
missed that.
touched
We
on
caught
that.
we
You probably
touched
missed
that
it.
early on the show.
I did miss the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Never
the
mind
two
then.
people was just to recap real quick. You can go
Recap,
back
yep.
and listen to it, but it was BJ Cole who was sitting at 3-4, but we felt as though he was a little shocked that he was 3-4. And I mean, like you said, one of the
Straight
games
coach.
he won, he could have lost. And straight coach was the other, sitting at 2-6, I
2 and
believe, right?
6, which I called the first radio show because I knew his team wasn't good enough. I kind of called it, you know what I'm saying? And then we said we had a thing with people who we felt like did really well might have doing better than what we thought they were doing, and we ended up with Shano at 7-1 playing really well. Offense is just lights out, and made the shine. Made the shine 8-0.
You know what made the shine is a pleasant surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I think anyone that knows us that has been around for a while knows that there's history there, but I've heard really good things from people about Made to Shine. So I'm excited to play him. I can't wait to see what he's got.
Okay.
Nice.
I am as well. Hopefully, I'll see him somewhere down the line. Potentially in the playoffs. I don't believe. Yeah, we don't play in the regular season, so. But hopefully we'll get there. So Shane, Slick was just joined. We'll let you go for a second, and then hopefully get Slick.
Absolutely, guys. Keep doing up the good work. I appreciate you having me on.
Okay. Hey Slick.
Slick's a bum.
Okay, Slick. We gonna need you to mute your audio. We getting a little feedback there.
Yeah.
So Slick, how's everything going for you so far? And
I mean, shit can be a lot better, man. I feel like pretty much after the debacle between Shane, I don't know what the hell happened. I mean, I lost the shine and just like my whole team just fell apart.
okay.
But all my other games, man, I mean, shit, they've been pretty close.
Okay.
We gotta get over the hump, like said. There's some hard hitters in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Real hard hitters in the league, man. So I know the steps I gotta take to get past
Nephew, can I tell you your problem?
Hey Slick, one quick second.
'Cause-
Can you put your audio allowed to share, right quick?
Oh, people can't see you. Yeah. Yep. Go to your party. The party settings.
allow your voice to be heard.
Yep.
Alright. Can y'all hear me now?
We can always hear you. It's for the listeners out there.
It's for the
But
listeners. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
But this is what I was about to say, CP. Let me
go
get
ahead,
it
go
for a
ahead.
second, bro. What I was about to say is, I was looking at this and I noticed your problem. What's amazing right now, people don't realize, you are second behind Shano in points for.
Some points
Yet you have a
allowed.
2-6 record. Now, points allowed, you have scored. You have scored 301 points. You right behind Shano at 316. However, your problem is your defense has been it's the worst in the league as far as getting the points. You have given up
Yeah.
358 points. So your problem is defensive problems. You need to
Yeah.
fix your defense. Play
And it's so
calling,
crazy.
defense.
I don't think it's the play calling. I think it's my user. Like I gotta work on
Okay.
my user. Like it's okay, but like we was in a game with Shane. I mean, I was just in a game with Frank. I could have had a lot more picks. Like my dude would be right there, and then I just won't step in front of it. Then he'll get the big play. So it's like I bait people into the plays where I know the ball coming. Then my user not that A1 like it was last year, so now I got to work on it. And that's how I give up the big plays, because I can score on pretty much anybody. It's just me not being able to control my person where I'm supposed to control him right there on that play, and I'm going to give up that big play. That's my problem. But I'm going to fix that, though. I'm going to fix that.
The other
Okay.
thing,
Definitely
I
fix
think
that.
defense is definitely a key thing for you to want to look at. The other thing I'm noticing is the turnovers. You got to cut the
Yeah.
turnovers. You got to
Whew.
cut. You got to cut the turnovers down. You're actually second in the league in giveaways. So
Yeah.
Man,
you
I
giving away the
mean,
ball
shit.
31 times. You have 26
Whew.
interceptions, the second worst,
Whew.
only behind Jedi
Mm.
in
Oh,
interceptions.
man, I don't want to be
Well,
down there.
You
Shit, yeah.
don't never
no,
want to
you
be close
don't.
to Jedi or anything.
Jedi, nothing.
And that's
Oh
just
man,
playbook
okay.
download.
Yeah,
Other than
you
that,
right though, man. Like I had a small talk with myself, man. I said, damn, man. Like my offense really never really been a problem, but I try to force shit because I know my offense can move the ball, and sometimes that costs me. And this year, it's been costing me a lot. Like
Gotcha.
I struggle with I see the the double coverage, and I just still throw the ball from sometimes. And me, um, I take people's users for granted. That's what's been getting me in a lot of trouble this year too.
Gotcha.
yeah, so you definitely gotta get better at that. You actually,
Oh
like you
yeah.
say, I guess this goes into what you were saying. Your user getting a little better. You don't have many
Mhm.
takeaways at all either.
Yeah.
You're like fifth worst as far as takeaways go.
And
So
that's
that's
so crazy,
yeah,
man. Because
that's
it's like CP, like I will be right there. Like freaking cosign. Even though he's called me a bum, his bum ass in the bottom now. But even though I'll be right there, man, the ball will just somehow just graze past me every time. Like I gave BJ what is it, Alpha? I got the Jets in Alpha, and he'll tell you like that game was just crazy. Even though it was like a shootout, it wasn't supposed to be a shootout. Like my guys would be right there. So that's something I gotta work on. Definitely something I gotta work on. Hey, but one thing for real, man, y'all been doing y'all thing, man.
Hmm.
Y'all been doing y'all thing, holding this league up, getting them texts out, advancing on time, all that, man. This talk show is smooth. I like it. Glad to be a part of the league finally. You know,
Hmm.
I'm here to stay, man. I'm loyal.
well,
I'm
we
We
happy
loyal.
for
like
that.
that, bro. We like that, bro. And listen,
We're
Uh,
used to
uh,
we're used to Cleveland guys running to Miami and stuff like that. So for you to stick around, we're happy to hear that.
well,
hey, man.
you know what? I want to do a special shout out to Slick though right now. Although your record, well, it was 2-6. You won your week this week game, so it's 3-6. So you coming up. And although your record is 3-6, you did, however, knock Texas boy from the undefeated right off his high horse, right
Oh
into
yeah.
oblivion. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
He came on. I just want to talk on this one. Let's get into a little trash talk. First of
Yeah, I got
all,
to.
I just want to say the hell with Dallas or anybody from Dallas. By the way, excuse me.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
take it personal.
Okay.
But he came on here in the beginning. If anybody watched the trash talk videos, fuck Cleveland, fuck Cleveland, fuck anybody from Cleveland, nephew.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care your brother, nephew, your sister. He was talking big shit, and he gonna beat everybody from Cleveland ass. And the first person from Cleveland, my man Slick, he
Mm-hmm.
told me, he said, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna get him. He talking all that shit on Cleveland. Don't worry about it. He was fired about it all day. He texted me early like, I'm gonna get Texas ass tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So and he did his job. He
Oh
put he
yeah.
put them paws on him. You know what I'm saying? And Tex laid down. He talked big. You know, all bark no bite. You know what I'm saying? When he come down to the get down. So
Mm-hmm.
I just appreciate you holding it down for the land, bro.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, like I told him, man. That game was a little bit more personal, man. You know, he talking about my city, man, my
Mm-hmm.
hometown. You know, I took that a little to the heart. And even though the game was only by like 10 points, it was
Right.
really a massacre, man. Like I said, if my user
Mm.
game was strong, he really wasn't moving the ball at all.
Mm.
Like
So you just
he Hail Mary vertical me to death.
did he? Ah.
That was the only thing. Like I don't know if you can look at my stats real quick on that game, but I think I
Oh yeah.
pushed almost 300 rushing yards on the ground, like 500 passing. Yeah, that was an easy
So,
win, man. I don't know how he was
easy
5-0
win.
too.
So what you saying is he impersonator right now. He
Yeah, very
impersonating a good
impersonator,
player.
man.
Mm.
I feel like if Texas was on my schedule every week, I'd be undefeated.
Mm. 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 Mm.
You know,
Mm. Ain't that something?
you know what
Wow.
I'm saying?
I mean, woo. I like it. No, I
I'm gonna
think I
talk that
would be
shit.
too. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
I do
you
too.
know.
I feel you. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
and
It's
that
like
game, hey,
Jedi. It's
hey.
like playing Jedi every week.
Oh man, damn, I got Jedi coming up too, bro. I don't think I never played you, man, but yeah, I can't. I'll be sad if I lose to you, man. Hey, what I was gonna say, oh yeah, that go for everybody that disrespect Cleveland too, man. So if y'all
That's right.
disrespecting Cleveland, man, and let me hear it, man, that game
Woo,
just
you.
got personal,
Woo,
man.
I just pulled up this. I just put up this box score against Tex. Boy, you had 624 yards versus this man.
Oh yeah,
Total, Lord have mercy, 311 yards on the ground.
oh yeah,
Woo,
shit got
man.
disrespectful, man.
I see.
You know,
I see.
So I mean,
Damn.
Slick, you touched on your record not exactly where you want it to be and stuff. And
yeah.
do you feel as though you'll still make the playoffs? Are you still fighting? Or
Um,
what's your
I was.
confidence level in that?
My confidence is very high, man. That's first and foremost, man. I
Mm,
talk a lot of shit, man. I back it up, but my confidence ain't gonna never fall. If I'm losing, if I got a losing record or a winning record, my confidence level gonna be there, man. But
mm-hmm.
depending on my division, like me and Frank was just joking about it earlier before we played. We both felt we still got a shot at this division.
Hmm.
You know, it's a little weak now. From what I'm seeing. It's I mean Haney's a solid player. I'm gonna bust his ass next game too. I owe him.
Mm,
But
mm.
Right now, he about
he
three
got
games
away from
back, something like 3 games back from Haney
yeah,
right
it
now.
I feel like 10-6 will get me there.
Okay.
I definitely feel like 10-6 will get me there. Rams, he a solid cat. We had a shootout. I could have won that game. Felt like I got hold in that game, but we're not gonna elaborate on that. I
Mm,
owe him one
gotcha.
too.
Okay.
Me and Freight end up going 1-1, so I feel like my division is still up for grabs.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
need them two to win it, to lose a few more games for me. And if I see that, my confidence level gonna rise even more.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, good to see you at 3-6, and you're not already planning your draft strategy for the next year. You still fighting and
Man, like
pushing
Alpha,
for
man. Hey,
it.
Jesus Christ, man. Hey, man, you boys did me dirty with them Jets, man. But hey, every opponent that came across them Jets, man, they showed me that respect I was looking for, man. I've been
That's it.
close in every game, man. They gonna be a problem in Alpha, man. Next season, if I get my picks, they gonna be a problem.
That's
Them
what's
Jets
up.
gonna be a problem, man.
So, like I
Hey,
said,
but once again, though, man, thanks for having me on the show.
always, bro. Anytime we're welcome to have you. Always welcome to have you. So we'll try to get.
Hey, before you
Oh,
go,
you had
you
one
was
last
that you
thing?
said you wanted to? Yeah, you said you wanted to say something before you go. Was it fuck Dallas or something? I didn't
Oh
remember.
yeah. Yeah, fuck Dallas. You know, Texas girl. I don't know. Shit, boy. I don't know what's wrong with you, man. How was you 5-0? How was you 5-0, man? Who did you play? Who lost to you? Shit. Never mind, man. Hey, once again, man, thanks for having me on this show, man. I gotta get back to my son, fiance, man. Hey, but keep doing your thing, though, man. I hope this shit go viral. I hope this really blow up, man. I see good things with this talk show in the future, man. My boy Watts just joined. What's going on, Watts?
Yeah, what's happening? What's happening?
CEO, hold on. Let me just take time.
CEO, Money Man of the Year.
Yeah, wow.
Let me just take time to give recognition to our sponsor. For those that don't know, this man is GA certified. This man is Watts Living. He is president of Stacks Incorporated. This man traveled the world with Trump. He came on late because he was making business. That's what he do. Always working. I mean, I respect him. I look up to him. He my idol. You know what I'm saying? We should all strive to be like my man GA certified. But I appreciate it, Slick. Thank you, bro.
All right, Slick. We'll get up with you, Slick.
Y'all do your thing, man. I'm out. Yes, sir.
All right, so we got the president, the CEO, like Rex said, you know, Jackson Heights own Mr. Randy Watson.
Oh Lord, can y'all hear me? I don't know if I got my stuff on. I think I turned my audio stream on. I turned it off a couple days ago. I think I'm good money though.
Okay, so Watts, how's everything going for you, Watts? So far, you know, we will take a second away from Watts as the commissioner. You know, we know you're running a great league. Everything's going good. We'll focus on Watts, the player. How do you feel like everything's going in K.O.M for you?
I think I'm doing straight. You know, my record will probably fool you if you look at it, but I mean, I gave up 2 computer games, and then I got the one game I did lose, like completely lost, was against Nate Deshaun, who's undefeated, and he's balling right now. Shouts out to him. He's balling. You know, I played Nate Deshaun. I know y'all was talking about him, about how he surprised y'all. He's not too much surprise for me. He's been balling in other leagues I've been running into him in. He's straight. So, and then he drafted the team to the way he liked it. So, you know, I lost that one game to him. He kind of kicked my ass, to be honest. I think I might have scored like 14, 19 points something. And he kind of trashed me. But besides that, I got 2 computer games that I gave up, and that's about it. You know, I haven't lost none now.
So besides like when you're on the road and potentially, you know, I mean, not giving away the CPU games because you're not staying at the Trump Towers.
Well, one of them, I can't blame traveling. Well, I mean, I could blame traveling because of the lag, but I played Leo recently. I think it was just yesterday, and we had a straight game. But I mean, my game cut off in the middle of it because the hotel internet shut off in the middle of the game. Well, towards the end of the game, like last 2 minutes. But it was a good game up to that point, and so I just gave him the win after that because it was my fault. You know.
But that always sucks.
Man of respect. Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Commissioner doing commissioner things.
Stand up guy. I'm telling
I mean, he was up 3. You know, who knows what happened? He could have held it down.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
You know what? Shane was on here, and we touched on it a little bit earlier, and we was talking about the guys and our plan, and you know that we committed to them. We will be committed to him. Like you know, just shed some lights on. Like Shane touched on a little bit. And he said how we was talking about commitment and everything. You got anything to add to that? Like, what's your expectation?
Shane hit it on the head. It's something that we talked about the first radio show. Is we all putting in all the work, all of us. That's just running the charge with this K.O.M thing. And we'd appreciate it if, there was more activity on a constant basis. And, I'm not about harassing you guys, saying you better post this and do that and respond to that or we boot you. I think that's unnecessary, but it would be appreciated if more people, took the initiative to make their own posts or just comment on all the the weekly recaps and like this post is gonna go up with this video. Watch the video, watch the stream, just be more active. I know we got the group me, but we got like 25, 26 members in there, but even that don't have a lot of activity. Right now, it's like the same 5 or 6 people is constantly in there. And I put it all towards being shy. People just still trying to get comfortable. 'Cause I know people, you can look at the views, and we get good views. Just guys got to step out of their comfort zone and actually comment. Get comfortable. I mean, nobody's gonna call you out. Maybe text boy, he might call you sorry or some shit. It ain't personal. It's all matter related.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The videos, I think the videos we did in the beginning of the season is a perfect example. We knew it might not be a lot feeling comfortable, all the way out there, but we just trying to encourage guys like, listen, the league, leagues is what you make them. If you participate, we can have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? We just here trying to have a good time. Ain't nobody worried about what you look, what your perception, none of that. We just worry about having a good time, bro. It's a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So that's all. You just try to get people to understand it.
Along with having fun, we also do want to ensure still that people are following the rules. All of us have gotten complaints at the commissioner and co-commissioner spots that there's a couple people within the league that are pushing the limits, which we're going to start coming down harder on. We kind of been lax because some of the guys are new, or some guys are just rusty and just not really paying attention to the rules. So there's been a couple freebies on some of these things because they wasn't egregious. But we're going to start tightening up on all that stuff because it's not making the game fun for certain people to have to go through that game with that unnecessary stuff. So there's definitely something people need to look into.
Here's a question for you, Watts, since you're speaking about that. You get a lot of complaints about different rules being broken and all that. Is there one particular rule that you seem to keep hearing about that people are breaking that maybe you can shed some light on and maybe help people not break this rule?
I could really, based on history, I could maybe give a better example, but this year there really hasn't been a consistent thing that's came up. I really haven't got many complaints. It's been a couple, so that's why it really hasn't been much. I guess text messages going out, basically warning people that hey, tighten up. So this year really ain't been crazy, but I just don't want it to get to that point of constant issues. But I can give historical background on some of, certain issues if that's maybe could fit the bill on what you're asking.
I mean, if you feel as though that's relevant to right now, you could definitely shed some light on it.
Yeah. Running up the score, that's a huge one. I mean, CP, you know as well as anybody, you put up numbers quick. The stat pattern himself, Mr. Megatron is what they call him. You put up numbers real quick in some games. I mean, it's happened to me as well. As far as people putting up numbers, and certain people feel like you gotta, you just gotta run for 4 quarters, but then they'll go in the game and throwing Hail Marys all game, and it's just. If it's at a point that you feel the game as the losing team, the game is out of hand, you should probably start running the ball yourself, burning the clock, or, make it seem like you're trying to get the game over with, not handicap the person that's winning so you can make a comeback. That's not fair, that's not fun, and that's something that we get complaints about a lot. And then, so there is the rule that if you're trying to concede the game, running the ball and things like that, it's fine. But if you're out there throwing bombs and continually to try to get points, then the winning team doesn't have to concede the game. They don't have to just continue to run the ball. It's all free game at that point, and the game's still going. So that's a complaint that's historical that you'll get randomly throughout the year, that somebody ran the score up on me. Somebody ran the score up on me. They passed the ball at 3 minutes and 30 seconds, but they failed to mention, well, I did, run Hail Mary 6 times in a row because I wanted to try to get 7 points to make the score look better.
I didn't want to get to.
Right. I was trying to
I could
avoid player of the
definitely,
week,
yeah,
something like that.
I could definitely
Yep.
understand that. Shane actually mentioned something in the chat just now, and
Mhm.
he was making light of something, but it's something
Mhm.
that I would like to touch on. So I
Mhm.
was playing rack the other day, and in a league
Cheese
game,
ball.
and
Got his ass whooped.
I blocked one of Rack's field goals,
Oh, he's
and
lame.
and something that I've noticed, I was actually not even
Mhm.
looking at the screen when the field goal got blocked. Something I've noticed, and Rack actually, I messaged Rack and he messaged me, and we actually went back and forth. He had a similar situation happen. Apparently, I'm not just making this up.
Mhm.
Apparently, if your icon is on that guy on the edge, it increases your
Mhm.
chance for a blocked field goal, even if you're not controlling the guy.
Mm.
So that's something you gotta
That's
look out for. You cannot block
right.
field goals in any shape or form, period.
Right.
If you put the controller in the other room, outside the house, wherever you put the
Mhm.
controller, and they still somehow block the field goal, even though you didn't do anything. If the
Mhm.
guy you're controlling blocks the field goal, you have to find a way to give the player back that point.
Definitely. I
Yep.
completely agree.
What I did in my
Yeah, that's
rat
not.
game, my next touchdown when I eventually scored, I just kneeled that way
Mhm.
to negate the point. But
Mhm.
you're responsible for the guy you're controlling. We
Right.
have
Mhm.
no idea
Right.
if you actually blocked it or not. So if you're controlling a guy who blocks a field goal, by all accounts, we're gonna take that as you blocked the field goal, whether you did
Yep.
it manually or not.
Right.
So
Definitely.
And I and trust
Definitely.
me, me and CP know, and I was with him when it happened to me. He's like, I seen him controlling, and he's like, man, I wouldn't even. I don't have smoke. I said, bro, I already know because when I was playing, I played K.O.M one time. I did the same thing. I picked up a beer, had a beer in my hand. And I turned around and blocked. I said, huh?
Mm.
I said, dude, all I did was leave my man. I didn't even touch it. So, and then when CP happened, I said, you know what, CP, I believe you 100% because shit, the same thing happened with me and Karn. And I was just sitting there, so it do something, and I just think it need to be put out that it is on the user to manually move. That's why I moved my guy to the middle guy
Yeah,
linebacker now. It
that's
is
what I
on you to
do.
move him off of there to make sure that the kick don't get blocked. You just have
I
to do it.
definitely, yep. I purposely moved the middle guy all the way to the goal. I've been way back there, so you see that I'm
Yeah,
not blocking nothing. I've been doing
exactly.
that for years now because that's just been the rule. 'Cause, I mean, I came across somebody recently that's done that to me also, and had to go through explaining, that's the rule. You can't clearly block a field goal. That's been in the rules for years. It's definitely people got to watch that. Now, if computer block it, that's a whole different story. But you mainly user and blocking field goals is, that's not what we're doing right here. That's
so
not.
you're responsible for the play you controller. That's just plain and
Yeah,
simple. If you block it while your
exactly,
guy highlighted, you're responsible
exactly.
for that. So
Right. Yep.
keep
Yep.
an
And
eye on
also,
that.
while we're talking about kickoffs and things, there's something I did hear about is guys got to understand they can't move other people in place on kickoffs. You can't mainly user a blocker and then switch off to the person returning to your returner. You got to control that returner, and that's who you control the rest of that time right there at that point. There's no setting up blocks and all that stuff. Like we're not doing those kind of things. This is a mutt, not to disrespect anybody. There's things that are in place. You gotta follow these rules that we've had in place.
You know what? I want to bring something up. Not that we on rules, and this ain't necessarily a bad thing, and I get it.
Hmm.
But this is one of the things I was playing Karn, K-Bola, excuse me. Um, that unfortunately, and K-Bola normally is nothing wrong with him. That was probably my worst. This last one, my most enjoyable game in the year, and it's just the way Karn plays sometimes. He take a while to pick his play, and then he if everything's slow delivery, he goes to the line, he be there. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's just personal
Hmm.
style, but that
Hmm.
is something that aggravates me. But what was happening one particular time, he was trying to do this thing with the fake snap, and it's just where I didn't like. It was
Mhm.
this. He had like third down and 13, right? So he came up to the line. He tried to do some of the fake hikes to try to get your man to jump off line, and my guy jumped. And they will jump. They tend to jump more if you on aggressive or whatever the case may be. So
Mhm.
I saying he did it. I took my off aggressive on balance, right? He
Mhm.
came back third, and the next play did it again. Got my guy jumped off sides again. I said, okay, this is like a free thing, 2 days in a row. He came back a third time and did it again. So at that point, I started to get high. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like,
Mhm.
now, do you just try and do too much? Now the game allowed him to do it, but
Mhm.
that was one of my problems. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I ain't saying they got to be a rule or whatever the case may be. I just thought it was so lame to keep trying to do this shit. 3 plays in a damn row, and it's on the third down. They giving you 5 yards every time you do this thing. Like, and I ain't saying it got necessarily
Yeah.
be rude, but I thought it was excessive. You know what I'm saying? Me
Yeah.
personally.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
anytime you do something excessive, especially in one drive, I personally don't like that. Uh, I know there's things like undisciplined traits and things like that that maybe your D line was on or something that probably assisted him in that happening, but I don't think there's anything in the game that you should consistently do in one drive over and over. Because
I
recently,
agree and I
no,
don't agree with that myself.
okay,
And it just is not really playing devil advocate. Just is, I guess I'll show you a different aspect of this. Is
mhm,
for the most part, I've noticed in the growing trend that people just put their defensive line on aggressive all game long.
yeah,
The pass
yeah,
rush is ridiculous.
over, yeah,
It's a little overkill, especially when aggressive.
yeah,
So
mhm,
to combat that, people fake snap. You have to
fixing
do that.
it, yeah. Right,
Where Rat on his end, he had his guy on aggressive for the first one, and he put his guys on conservative. So K.O.M, when he came out and did it again, and Rat got jumped again, he didn't know that Rat put his guy on conservative or normal or whatever. He probably his thinking was, oh, he still got him on aggressive. They jumped again. So my guessing is he was trying to combat the aggressive pass rush, where even though Rat took his guys off of the aggressive, it still triggered the offsides animation.
True,
mhm,
true, CP. But the fact, just the fact that you would try that straight plays. See, that's that. I mean, not just me. Like, I ain't about to come up here and try to, ain't nobody else played so far than done that. No one. You know what I'm saying? You was doing fake snaps off the jump. You come up there, do it one time, boom. You might do a hike, and you hiking the ball. You end up there hitting fake snap 200 times, or whatever the case may be. And normally you'll change it off of there, and I don't see it. I might see it a few times a game where you're trying it just to see if something there, and you do it one time, then you normally hiking the ball. Not where you just constantly at the line, just constantly trying to do it. That's my problem.
yeah.
You know what I'm
That's what
saying?
I
I
was
think that's
saying.
when you trying to like manipulate and trying to take excess of the game. Like I ain't about to
Yeah,
get out there 20 seconds early and then be hitting fake
Well,
snap all the way to down to
it's a
five seconds. Like
it's a double edged sword as
that's
well.
excessive.
it
The
is.
reason
It's definitely double-edged
it's a double
sword.
edged sword because his guys could just as easily jump as your guys
Go off
jump.
also. Yeah,
So it ain't
yeah.
like
Yeah, but
you
it
can't
ain't been working
overdo.
like that, bro.
I
I hear you.
honestly, I do fake snap quite a little bit, right? And honestly, my guys jump more than I get the defense to jump when
Mhm.
I do it
When,
for whatever reason. Maybe I was just having bad luck. Maybe my guys, because I don't
maybe you got
invest
a
a
bad
lot in O
line.
line. I was about to say I don't invest a lot in
Right.
O
Yeah,
line.
it's a bunch of
Maybe
variables
my
that
O
yeah.
line ain't good, but my guys definitely jump more than the defensive guys jump. Also,
I tell
Yeah.
you, I
sometimes
tell
when the
you what.
defensive guys jump, they let the
No,
defensive
go ahead,
get back.
CP.
They let them get back in the coverage or back on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and I can't snap the ball. They won't even let you snap the ball when they jump over, and it's tricky. I get
Yeah, that's a tricky one for sure.
it's a tricky situation because I do understand
Yeah,
you don't want to spam anything. I definitely do
yeah,
understand that. I completely
right.
understand that. But at the
And
same sense,
then
trying to combat
Yeah, that's a
aggressive
hard
pass
one to
rush
combat.
especially since you do have the penalty of
Mm-hmm.
potentially your guys. I don't see it as egregious per se.
And then and then
Mm-hmm.
and then
Uh-oh.
this, he
I'm gonna
the
tell
man
you
was
what
kept
before you
screaming.
go, right?
Go
I'm gonna
ahead,
tell
bro.
you what. I want to send a shout out to K Bola for
Uh-huh.
giving Rack that work because he sounds sensitive right
A
now.
little
I hope
bit,
y'all hear
a
this
little
man
bit,
right
a
now.
little
He
bit.
is emotional that Bola beat him. Congratulations,
Man,
K Bola, for beating self-proclaimed the God of Madden.
listen,
Rack
I ain't never mad when I
playground.
take a loss.
Do you thing,
Shane,
Bola? Do you thing?
made it shine, won the game. We did nothing. It was a good game. That game, it was multiple things that Bowler made me mad. That was one of them. Then he kept scrambling up the middle with his damn quarterback, and it seemed like he'd go back there 1 second and then he just taking off. So
Mm-hmm.
once again, what made me mad at him was the compound of the game. You know what I'm saying? It was
Mm-hmm.
like he take forever to pick his play. He take a long time to hike the ball. Then he did that fake snap thing 100 times at the line. Then he scrambled up the middle. Sometime he went back there 1 second and he just scrambled. Like one time he did like 3, 4 plays in a row at towards the end of the game. I'm just looking like, and I just lost it at that point. I'm like, you know what? And like I said, I don't hold nothing against him. It was the game. I just thought, it was the compound, and at that moment, you couldn't tell me nothing. But it's cool, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I was about to ask you next, co-commission. Is this a formal complaint that I need to get ready to?
No, man.
Because you've been venting for a minute. You holding up the radio show.
I know, bro. I know. I'm good. I'm good. I had to get that out. I had to get that out, man.
I can tell. I can tell. I
Lord.
can tell. Good stuff. But I mean, if y'all have nothing else for me, Stokes just hit me up on Group Me and said he'd like to jump on real quick. If y'all like.
Oh, definitely, definitely, definitely. Love to hear from Stokes. Okay, so Stokes isn't actually online right now. At least I don't think it's actually Stokes' birthday. So let's get Stokes in because today's his birthday.
I'm about to. I'm sending
So
a
I,
message
I
right
sent I sent him
now.
an invite. He's on. I had
Oh,
it real.
okay. You got
I missed his screen name for a second. So let's get Stokes in,
it.
and we'll get back with you, Bots, and
Alrighty. Y'all doing your thing, man. Good stuff. Good stuff.
always.
Appreciate you guys as always.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
That Christmas bonus. Holla at us.
So we got the people's chant.
Took y'all long enough.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed. So let me ask you a question, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
How you feeling? And I want you to honestly answer it because I know when we started this league, people was making videos and sometimes people was making light of the fact like, you know what, Stokes, oh yeah, he doing this in this other league and he won't be if he was playing in another league with all this competition, maybe he wouldn't be doing as good. And right now, I mean, we ain't in the playoffs or Super Bowl, but right now you 8-0. You know what I'm saying? Look like you doing your normal, running well, playing good defense, and you winning, which is the main thing. So, how you feel about it right now? What you got to say about that?
It's just I just go into each Madden and each game with the same overall goal, just to be able to get my run game going and just playing defense. And I feel as if I've got those two things in each game I play that I've got a really good chance to win. And that's usually what makes me as successful as I have been is the ability to be able to run the ball and play good defense. And in this Madden, it's even more so a big thing because it's a lot more difficult to get a consistent pass game going. So the run game has been my best friend yet again.
Nice, nice.
Okay.
What you got for him, CP?
Okay, so this is a topic we touched on for a little bit. So Stokes, I know you're in multiple leagues, and we ain't gonna touch too much on it, but you're in multiple All Madden leagues. And you're
Yes,
in multiple
this.
All Pro leagues, I believe. So, what do you prefer, and why?
I would say probably for if you're looking for more fun and more frustration, I think it's all pro.
I feel as if it's more fun because it's more scoring and everyone likes scoring, but it's more frustrating when you see a certain route and you're like, why isn't my DB doing what DB should be doing to defend this particular route? But at the same time, on all Madden, you've got DBs who are pretty much everybody's Ed Reed, which is fine. It just you just have to position yourself to not attempt those throws, and that's the main thing. You have to retrain your mind, like the same thing you've been doing for X amount of Madden. It's not going to work on all Madden because the DBs are going to jump that route now, and for the most part in All Pro, those DBs aren't going to do that. So it's a little bit of a different preparation, but my overall goal is the same in each game because I don't throw those routes regardless whether it's all Madden or All Pro because I don't like taking risks. I like to throw the ball where I see him open, and that's typically what I do. I don't like to throw risky passes, and that's why I just have a high completion percentage because I don't like to throw risky passes.
Verdict? All Pro, all Madden. Where you going? If you had to pick.
Well, I mean, because
you gotta pick one.
If I've got to pick one, I'm gonna go with all Madden because I mean that it caters to my play style.
Okay.
So if it's gonna stop everybody else from passing, then hey, that's cool with me.
That make perfect sense.
Make perfect sense.
I
I ain't mad at you at all.
I respect that. I respect it.
You kind of touched on it a little bit. And you say you just basically do the same thing. I was going to say, do you go into each game knowing like, oh, this is an all-pro league, I'm going to do this and do that, or this is an all-Madden league, let me not. But you kind of touched a little bit on that. You don't at all, like before the game, at all tell yourself this is an all-pro league or all-Madden league?
No, like I said, there are just some routes, there's some plays that I have in my play that I just know I'm not going to use regardless of whether it's an all-pro or all-Madden league. Whether I think it'll work or not, I don't want to take the risk because there could be that safety that's going to make the play that like they would in all Madden. So it's difficult for me to try and get my mind wrapped around going into it that way. But defensively, it is a bit different. I have to pay more attention to the back. I have to watch for the backside or frontside post more than I would in all Madden. Because in all Madden, if I see a post, I'm like, okay, well, that's going to be picked off, so they're not going to throw that. But on All Pro, I may have to scoot back a little bit more to defend it if it's thrown. So, I mean, that's the only difference, really.
Gotcha.
Okay, that makes sense. Affects your defense more than offense.
What do you... I got a question. What do you, and because people a lot of times they feel they see guys being successful, and sometimes it can appear easy, and we all know, even though some of the better players that we good, that we still have faults and we still have stuff and stuff that we work on and we try to improve on. Just touch on that a little bit. Sometimes people just be, you can do a formula, and your formula where there's, defense and running the ball, and then you might play against somebody one game, you like, damn, if I was, maybe this game, if my passing was a little bit better, it could have helped me here. Like, just the constant challenge of trying to evolve and still trying to get better, because I think people just don't understand, like, even us top guys, we still go through that, and sometimes when you play other top guys, it highlighted like, okay, if I did this a little bit better, I could have, I might not have lost this game or something like that. Like, how do you feel about that?
Absolutely. I go into every single game I play with the intention of learning something new, whether it's something about the person I'm playing, or something about something I do. I try to learn something about any aspect of the game, whether it's offense, defense, or just a play itself where I may have used it a couple times, but this time that I used it, this play finally clicks for me. I'm reading it correctly. I'm seeing what I need to do to make this work. And it also comes down to little things that you can take from people that you play. whether they're good or bad, they're gonna do something in that game that is gonna be successful. You're not gonna win every game 56-0. They're gonna do something that's gonna work, and
Right.
where you learn is you take something from whatever you see and incorporate that into what you're going to do, because there are plays that just work in the game, and if you see it the first time, you say, oh well, I've never seen this play before, that's good,
Right.
and you'll be prepared the next time you see that formation, or you can prepare. I say, okay, here's the formation, this play might be coming, and it may work the first time, but you're going to jump it the second time. So that's you're always learning, no matter what it is and who you're playing.
Absolutely.
I completely agree. I know Giggles for a long time. He was in K.O.M. and multiple other leagues we always in. He was famous for like basically just taking a little bit from each person he played gameplay and just taking and incorporating it into his own. And he was very successful doing that. And I think that's like it's nothing wrong. I don't care how good you are. It's just imitation is the best form of flattery. So nobody's going to get mad if you steal somebody play per se. You know what I mean? If people run plays that's successful, by all means, you should try to add that to your repertoire. Yeah, absolutely. It's not a bad thing. I mean, just because someone's using a play that you use or whatever it is, it's not. No one has ownership on any one player, any one scheme in this game. It's just if it's gonna work for you, then it's gonna work for you. Like if you try to do to me what I do in the game, I'm going to lock it up, because I see the reads in the run game as if I'm gonna run the play. So that's how I choose to defend it. So if you're going to try to do to me what I do, it's not going to work the same. It's just a matter of you just have to take your game, and if you want to do something that someone else does, just try. You can try it, but just try to add a little bit of your own style into it as well. You should know how to beat yourself, basically. Absolutely. Definitely. I could definitely agree with that. So, I mean, I know with us top guys, it's always Super Bowl or bust for the most part. You know, of course, it's good to win games and go undefeated and all that, but the season is almost a failure when you don't win the Super Bowl. Because I mean, we're expected to make the playoffs, so that's not any, highlight for a guy like yourself. So, I mean, like, where do you see yourself, obviously, besides winning the Super Bowl? Is there any other goals you have? Well, in every league I play, that is typically my goal. Is I've just got to win the Super Bowl, and if I don't win the Super Bowl, then I've got to figure out what kept me from that, whether it's one particular game or one particular person, and just going back and looking at the game itself. I typically look at the stats for 5 or 10 minutes after the game and any of the highlights that are available, and just take a look at myself. And even if I win a game, it's still looking at the game and trying to be better. Because, like I said, you're not going to win every single game in a blowout fashion. There's going to be close games, and there's going to be games that you win that you probably shouldn't win along the way. And that's essentially what you have to look at in each instance. But that's I'm always just trying to win a Super Bowl. That's always my goal, always in every league. Okay, I mean, it's expected.
Absolutely.
It's expected. Last question I have for you, and I'll let Rat get a question or two and whatever he needs. Is there anybody in K.O.M you played so far this year that played you really good? You was like, wow, this was a tough game. Like, ooh, like I barely won that, or somebody who made it. Maybe even it wasn't a close game, but it was closer than you expected. Maybe. The game of the week game against Tillman, that was a really good game. Also, I mean, I've had some really good games. The game with Tillman was a good game. He played defense. He defended my run a lot better than I would have wanted him to. And Haney, he played me very well. He dotted me up in the air. I mean, I was frustrated because I couldn't really stop him passing the ball. I mean, I picked the ball up a few times, but overall, it was just very difficult to stop him, and I almost lost that game. I almost blew it in Falcon style, but I did win in overtime. That was a really tough game for me.
What about the
And
BJ
then
game?
my
That looked
game
like it
against
might have been
BJ
close
was
too. Yeah.
yeah,
Gotcha.
that was he was dotting me up too. Just he just had some good concepts as far as passing the ball, making sure that he had the deep routes that go across the middle with John Ross, and he was just difficult to stop. I've had those are my the three games that I felt most uncomfortable.
Mhm. Gotcha.
So I see you got your boy Dre Archer. You know, you seem to be doing like a running back by committee thing going on here.
Oh,
Is
that's
that by
running
design
back.
or is that by injuries or
Yeah,
what's
Dalvin Cook got injured. That's the only reason why Dre Archer
okay?
got any carries. I got Corey Grant too. So I
Yeah.
mean, Corey Grant,
Oh
he's
Lord.
yeah,
Oh
he
Lord.
might end up taking the starting job now that I
Oh
got him from BJ.
Lord. Man, I wanted to snipe this. I wanted to snipe his ass. Oh Lord, the last they might have been Mad 17, man. That me and Stokes played that one game this month for Corey Grant. I'm telling you, woo, he tore me up that one game. Lord
Yeah,
have
Corey
mercy.
Grant, he's a
You
monster.
got me one
I
time,
love
Corey
him.
Grant, and I was so mad. Like, understand my only Corey Grant issue, right? Well, last year because I haven't seen him this year, so I have no idea. My only issue, I understand he's fast. That's all good. You know what I mean? There's plenty of fast people in the game, but he was breaking way too many tackles. And I was
Yeah,
like, why is he breaking tackles? Like he had like 50 loose moves, like 50 trucking. Like he shouldn't be breaking any tackles ever
yeah,
in life.
59 truck, 59 stiff arm. Yeah, it's a beast right there.
So that was my Corey Grant issue. But you seem to be.
CP hate Corey Grant,
Oh,
bro. You
I
just don't
do.
know. Like
I do.
when we be in the chat talking, and CP just be like, "Man, I
I
just
do.
can't stand this Stokes. He just make me so mad because he get this motherfucker Corey Grant, and he just do to the most with this motherfucker, and he just saying the same thing. Like his elusiveness, that be the worst because his stats ain't even that good. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, I
You
know,
know what I
man.
mean?
That
Because at the
motherfucker.
end of the day,
Mm,
running the ball successfully has nothing to do with any rating. The number one key with running the ball well is finding the holes. That's just
Hmm.
plain and simple. That's the number
mhm.
one key with running the ball. So if he running the ball, Stokes, you good at finding the holes and all that. So that's okay. That's fine. If you get a long run because there's a big hole you run through it, I have no issue with that. You run a toss play and he break two tackles and he run for 80 yards. Now I'm upset.
Yeah,
Now I'm
I
upset.
get you. I laugh when he does those special things where he breaks tackles. It makes me laugh because his ratings you don't expect anything like that, and that's how I go into it. If he breaks a tackle, I've won because I don't expect him to. I expect him to go down as soon as he's touched, but when he doesn't, it makes me laugh.
Gotcha.
They seem to drop his
Yes.
Excel some. Was his Excel always that low at 90?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
his agility used to be 80, which I don't. Agility is not a stat that I really care for. I don't think it
Okay.
matters in the game.
No.
I mean, if you're gonna use jukes and stuff, but I don't use jukes or spins.
Okay. So
Yeah, I was just telling. I think we was discussing it earlier. I said he don't. I said mostly when Stokes is a great runner, but when make him good, ain't jukes or spin moves. He just used analog. Like it just manual. He cutting on it. It's just manual by himself. Like he just see it. He got it. Like that's and I give it to you. And it's impressive. I don't know. It's been many times for me to play. Hell, it's 39, 10, 12. I'm like, all right, this Stokes gonna pass. Shit, the motherfucker run the ball, get 12 yards. He be like, man, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah,
He be like,
that's my
I'm
favorite thing to
like, man,
do is
I
third
know,
and
bro.
13.
Be funny too. You be sick with it. Like I know but I commend you because, like I said, you have a proven recipe, and I mean, we was talking about this. I said, those got a proven recipe. I respect him. He disciplined. You know, and that's anything. Any man that's disciplined, you discipline, you do the same thing, and you got a formula of success that's been working for you for as long as I done known you, for years, and just the same thing over and over, and it worked for you, and it's still working for you, obviously. So
Yeah,
just keep
that's
doing what you're doing.
sorry. This will be the last thing before I go. That's anybody who says they want to learn how to run the ball or whatever. It comes down to being disciplined in understanding that you're not going to break every run. I can show you what you need to see in order to make a run work, but if it doesn't work, that's where most people end up. Well, I lost 2 yards. Well, now I've got to pass the next 3 times. That's not the case. If it's 2nd and 10, you don't have to pass. You can
Right.
still run again, and that's where a lot of people they tend to get too wrapped up in the one single play and they go away from the run game. And
Right.
when that is the time where you just got to keep stay disciplined with the plan. And if you saw the right thing on the play, if you saw that this is where the hole is supposed to be and it wasn't there, or you got tripped up, that doesn't mean that you messed up. It just means that play didn't work. It does, the next time you can break it for a touchdown. It's you have to stay with your plan. Don't be so wrapped up in having to change everything that you're trying to do in a game. Definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely, you're definitely
Absolutely,
good
bro.
advice. I was just saying, I say Stokes is the most stubborn runner you will ever come across. Like he's like stubborn to a fault at times, but mostly
Yeah.
99% of the time it works for him. But most people just can't fathom running the ball on 3rd and 12 or 3rd and 10 or even 3rd and 8, and you still find a way to be successful doing it. And I mean,
Yeah,
credit
I trust myself to pass the ball much more than I do. I trust myself to run the ball on 3rd and 11 more than pass. So I'd rather go with what I know rather than get an interception.
No,
definitely,
you're right, and I think you know what I think is mental for people. Like you said, somebody come out and they get a 1 yard loss to the 2nd 11, and then they like, oh, I gotta pass, or I'm trying to, and no, you don't have to pass, and
Yeah.
people just gotta understand that. Like, no, look at the defense, and sometimes come out and read the defense, and even if you was even thinking pass, like, damn, you might come out and see the matchup is favorable. Like, yeah, run that ball. You know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
like, so yeah, I'm with you, bro. And we ain't gonna hold you up, man. We appreciate you coming on. You know what I'm saying? I respect you, bro. I appreciate you coming on, man. I hope you enjoying your time in KOM,
Yeah,
bro.
absolutely.
Let's keep.
Thanks. I'm looking forward to the playoffs coming up. Well, I mean
Oh,
halfway, but yeah, it's coming up.
we all are, bro. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be
Yeah.
exciting.
this,
It's gonna be
this
exciting.
AFC like a gauntlet over here.
Yeah, man. I've been looking at it. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fun. And then you got TX
Yes.
over in the NFC. I was like,
yeah,
well, what's going on over there?
yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
And
All right,
so
Chief. We
we'll
ain't gonna
see.
hold you up, man. Thanks again for coming on, bro.
Enjoy
Yeah,
your
thanks for
birthday,
having me,
bro.
fellas. Yeah,
Yep.
thank you, thank you. Have a good one,
Yep.
fellas.
You too, man.
All right, so Rag, I guess we can start wrapping this thing up. Um, we've been had another great radio show. I want to thank
Yes, indeed.
everybody for calling in, everybody who commented, everybody who's going to
Mhm.
eventually watch this stream down the line. I appreciate everything you guys do for the league, play your games, activity. It's all very, 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 very much. I can't stress. We're very thankful for it. So.
Absolutely.
Um,
Y'all time is not wasted. We appreciate every second that y'all get a league. We just trying to make the best product for y'all and for everybody else. I just want y'all to understand that. Be committed. Schedule y'all games. And if y'all got any questions, man, hit us up. Let's talk it out, and
um,
we can go from there.
okay, so adios till next time. This your boy Rat and CP. Another
Yes,
show
indeed.
down the drain. We'll see you guys next time.